if you're confident, potentially, that that Leavers would win the vote again, why not have the vote?
Well, why should we? It's a betrayal of all those people who voted to leave in the first place. You know, we can't just keep holding referendums until the public get the results that the politicians want. And as I said, it won't make a blind bit of difference, because the problem isn't with what the people have said. The problem is with the politicians doing what the people have said.
And the problem is, this kind of attitude is the one that's actually patronising the British public. They've sat here for 2 years and seen the absolute shambles that's happening here. They're deeply nervous and deeply worried about what's happened. This isn't what they were promised in 2016. So I think it's patronising and not listening to them, to ignore them and try and shove through Theresa May's deal, or to drive the country off a cliff.
Leave voters have not changed their minds.
There's a huge swing in my constituency.
Leave voters are not changing their minds. They're getting more and more angry about it. They're more and more angry about it. Why should they be forced to vote again just because you didn't like what they said last time?
It's not about that. You're the one who's refusing to give them that. You're trying to bundle through Parliament.
So would you have another vote, another referendum in 3 years' time?
No, this would be the final.
The final one.
Because it's a reality. No, it's a reality.
So people change their minds in 3 years' time.
I don't want another deal on fantasy.
So people change their minds in 3 years' time.
I don't want you to continue to lie to my constituents, to tell them.
I haven't been lying. You were the ones. I'm not you.
£350 million on a bus.
And that's exactly what we pay, isn't it?
This is not.
That is what we pay, though, isn't it?
You're not going to put it
That's what
back
we
into
pay,
the
isn't it?
NHS, are you? You want to
We
create
could put it into the
a low
NHS,
tax
couldn't we?
haven. You're not going to. And that's a good.
But we could
what
put
are
it
we going
into
to do
the
when the
NHS.
economy
But we do pay them
tanks? With a hard
350
Brexit, the economy is going to tank.
We do pay 300.
We're not going to be wealthier.
We do pay them 350 million a week.
There'll be no money going into public services.
We do pay them 350 million a week.
There'll be no money going into public services. There'll be no money going into our economy.
How much do we pay the EU every week?
It's not.
How much do we pay them every week?
What do we get?
How much do we pay them every week? You said it was a lie. How much do we pay them?
You're not putting £350 million a week.
How much do we pay them? How much do we pay them?
How much do we pay them? £350 million a week would be spent on the National Health Service.
You just said that was a lie. How much do we pay them?
It is a lie. I'm not going to go into the secrets. I know that we get more in the North East.
We actually pay them £350 million gross.
And you're going to put that into the NHS and continue to cut.
We could put that into the NHS.
Will we give that money? Will we give that money to the National Health Service?
I'd love to see it go to the NHS. We could give it to the NHS. We could spend it on education. We could spend it on defence, on transport, or any other things. But we do pay them £350 million gross every week, so it's not a lie to say that. And anyone who says it is a lie, tell me, how much do we do pay them?
Public services are going to be run off the cliff because people are going to leave.
How much is it?
I don't know, and I'm not really
interested. How much we pay the EU every week?
I'm not interested in the overall figure. I'm interested in my constituents' livelihoods. That's because you're obsessed with this. I'm interested in my constituents' lives, their jobs and their livelihoods.
Surely if you're going to accuse...
I know it's £350 million for the NHS is a lie. We know you're not going to put that in.
How much do we pay them every week?
Stop trying to...
I'm just asking you.
We've established how much we pay them gross every week. What do we want to hear?
£350 million a week.
Yeah, gross. What do we want to hear from the Prime Minister today?
You're continuing to perpetuate this nonsense, and this is why you exploited people's fears and insecurities and the inequality in this country and the austerity that your government. You've been driving public services into the ground for 8 years. Exactly. You're using.
I've been against the European Union for years
to drive your own agenda.
Because it's totally undemocratic. We're having laws made for us by people in Brussels who we don't elect. There's not one person in 100 who knows who's even in charge of the European Union. Which party is running the Parliament? Which party is running the European Parliament?
People that we vote in to select them. I'm interested in.
You're an MP. You don't even know.
I'm representing. This is the problem. So why are you exploiting?
Most people know that Theresa May is the Prime Minister and that we have a Conservative government at the moment. They may or may not agree with that, but most people know. Nobody knows who's running the European Union. I ask your views out there. How many people know who is running the European Union? Who's in charge of the Commission? Who's in charge of the Parliament? Which political party is running it? The answer is not 1 in 100.
The problem is we have democratic representation. The fact that we don't engage with that enough as a country is our fault because people like you have run the EU into the ground and used it to blame for everything. You've used it to blame for everything that's going wrong in this country.
You're making your point. Go on, Anna.
Yeah, you use the EU as an excuse. I mean, it still works in my constituency. 3,000 jobs lost overnight, and people blame the EU for the government not intervening. That's not true. The government could have intervened. 3 months later, they intervened to save Portugal. Your ERG group have been running the EU into the ground for years and years, blaming it for everything from immigration to everything that's wrong in this country. When actually what people were angry about in 2016 is 8 years of austerity, 8 years of underfunding into our NHS and our public services, rising unemployment, high unemployment in areas like mine, and you exploited that for your lifelong irritation and obsession, which is with the European Union.
Irritation or obsession. I believe that Britain would be better off outside the European Union. I find it bizarre that you're saying that we'll lose jobs if we leave the European Union. But at the same time, hang on, let me just finish. At the same time, you're also saying that there won't be enough people to fill all the jobs available if we leave the European Union and we don't have a visa scheme. So, there are massive contradictions in the arguments that you're actually putting forward. people have been complaining that house prices will fall 1 minute and that nobody will be able to afford the house the next. People have been saying, oh, the country will be flooded with cheap food, and then the next minute saying there isn't going to be enough food in the country, so you can't even get your own scare stories to line
your
up.
government's own statistics. This is your government's own impact assessment. This is everything. Your government's own words. Your own chancellor said this deal is going to make people worse off. So how can you stand here and defend a policy that you know is going to make the British people poorer and is going to make us weaker?
The same government figures that came out after the referendum, which said yes, which were wrong, weren't they, when they came out after the referendum?
Well, these were out in March. These were the government's...
No, the Treasury figures as to what would happen if we voted. No, but they're now, but they weren't about that, were they? They're about what would happen if we voted to leave.
We haven't left yet.
Yes, but they weren't about that, so you're ignoring it. Yes, you're ignoring it.
So why do the chemical industry tell me they're going to leave?
No.
Why do
You understand there's a difference?
Why does the aerospace industry tell me they're going to leave? Why does the automotive industry tell us they're going to leave with a hard Brexit? Don't patronise me. Why are they saying this? Because they know they can get... Because they're telling me. Experts
and then as soon as I
are
question you on them...
No, I know you've had enough of experts.
You rush forward.
You've had enough of experts.
Let's go back to a point you made.
These are the business experts.
Let's go back to a point you made, okay? The Treasury published figures as to what would happen.
Your government published figures,
yes, my government's Treasury published figures as to what would happen if we voted to leave. Not if we left, but if we voted to leave. And those figures were wrong, weren't they?
Well, I haven't seen those figures. Listen,
you haven't seen the figures.
No, I'll tell you what figures I have seen. I'll tell you what figures I have seen. Your government says my economy, my regional economy, is going to be disadvantaged.
You're rushing off again.
No, you're
interrupting
me. 16% impact on the economy of the North East, which is already hard. I have a youth unemployment rate that is 2.5 times the national average. Are you telling me that a hard Brexit is going to get my young people into work? But it's not. It's going to lose our chemical industry. It's going to lose our automotive industry. It's going to lose our aerospace industry. And my constituents who work hard in manufacturing didn't vote for this. They didn't vote to be worse off. They didn't vote to lose their jobs. They didn't vote to be poor.
So you didn't see the Treasury
more
figures?
Inequality between the North East and London.
You didn't look at the figures that came out of the Treasury?
Those are figures that came out of the Treasury.
Hang on,
These are your government's figures that came out of the Treasury that said 16%.
You're not giving me much of a chance here.
No, because you're trying to talk about other figures.
You carry on. I'll check my phone. I'll check my phone while you have a little chat.
Great.
Okay, you carry on.
It's an amazing way to debate.
Carry on. Oh, sorry, if I can get in. I'm not being patronising, but I can't get a word in edgeways here.
Please don't speak to her in that fashion. That's not acceptable. You've had more. You've had 50% each.
You carry on.
Thanks for joining us, David. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Very nice.
Walking in front of the camera. Excellent. Sorry, Anna. So you were talking.